Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode. I can't believe it's the 5th episode of us getting together every Monday, every week, and putting out new episodes. We still have no name, but it's awesome. I'm starting to call it the No Name Podcast with Sean and Wawa. So, Wawa, what's up?
Well, we had a great time over the weekend in Washington, D.C.
Amazing weekend.
Whoa.
Yes.
DJ Super Lee left the beautiful festival that he had for 15 years in Washington, D.C. So it was a lot of people just came in from almost all over. And so just showed in, showed out, performed the festivals, a lot of people. So it was beautiful seeing so many people came up for Lee, for what he gave to the community, deaf community, of performances, opening doors to perform at his shows and things like that. This is Scott. So, yeah.
So tell the people about Friday night. So Friday night, we had several performers lined up.
Yeah.
Everybody got to do one song, one and one. Tell the people about that experience, what it meant to everybody in the room that night.
See, Lee had a dream of having a lot of people, well-known talent artists, come out to perform, show deaf community what they're doing, what the ABC poem, signing some songs, or dancing, or just commenting poems. And so all these talents just showed up. Had a list of them, and everyone was doing their thing. And so it was very heart-touching. This is what we would say, this was celebrity performances. And it was nice to meet many well-known deaf influencers that were there. They showed up. And so to have the opportunity to mingle, talk with them, just to get to say hi. Woo, it was nice. So you're seeing people who are deaf like us, just doing their thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I enjoyed so many performances, especially two groups. Well, one individual and one group that brought us to church.
Yes.
I always feel like the soul in the room, but you have somebody that's talking about just their relationship with God or whatever, and just how they express it. And they do it in a way that everybody in the room can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
So I love watching Tara Miles, and I've known her probably for as long as I've known you. She's really an amazing talent, and how she performed, and she started very soulfully, and then the music built up to the point where it was almost like Tina Turner, you know? Yeah, she goes.
She had legs for miles. I mean, you see her. I mean, she's gorgeous when she projects herself. She's awesome. And she brought down the house. Everyone just went. Yeah.
And same with that other, the two that performed the Kirk Franklin song.
Regina and Reginald Spencer.
They were amazing. I just loved that kind of music.
Oh, they were into it too. So, these people and this couple, they've been performing for years before me. And so they already knew what to do. And they were still at it. You couldn't stop it. It was like,
how they move, how they like.
They were in sync. They knew how to move the crowd. And we were moving.
Oh, yeah. And to make us smile, because that was the name of the song that they performed from Kirk Franklin.
Right.
And for me, the whole weekend, for me, Friday night, watching all these different performers and meeting lots of talent that I've never seen or know of, and to become big fans. I really enjoyed Wade. Wade was hilarious.
Always.
Just his comedy, like how he was, it's just really hit me how comedy that we, just see and experience and find funny that everybody in the room could laugh at too.
It was worth it. See, they bring the things. So they know how to have a good time. And Lee was relaxed. He was having a good time. His family was there. So he was just like, oh.
You were hilarious. Wawa came out on the stage and started imitating me.
Yep.
It was so good.
I had a good time roasting him.
There.
It was good. But, speaking of Lee, I wonder what his farewell speech would be like if it was different. If he said it like, everybody, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I love you. I thank you so much for coming out from all over to see what was going on. You did your thing. I'm happy that I could sit down and relax and go to sleep because y'all made me tired. But thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Knowing him for a long time, and like you said, many experiences of him being stressed, of him being just wanting to make sure that the event is perfect.
Oh, he cares.
And I saw him post on Facebook saying, there's no drama this weekend. Everybody had a great time. All the performers really mingled with each other. It's true. And I've been to many different festivals and we always mingle, but what I found very different with this one is that a lot of us are our own creators.
We are.
Create our own content. We write our songs. We, really put our heart and soul into it. So that's what I found very different this weekend. Meeting all of these performers, seeing their performances. I mean, it was really nice to get to know O.B. Dakota some more. He's fun. I really enjoyed him. You guys coming out doing your performance. Seeing Death Star, Sammy.
Mm-hmm. He killed
that was
it.
Really cool.
It was good.
Too.
He killed it. I mean, a lot of people.
Great.
Yeah, you got Beautiful.
Yeah.
The artist.
Beautiful, the artist. I mean, she comes out, she has moves. And she's really, she's the only female.
Only female in the rap game so far.
In the rap game.
So I'm hoping we'll be able to find more. She's the queen of hip hop.
Yep.
I mean, she brought it. She did her thing. And then you have
Show Rock.
Yeah.
He's somebody I've known for many, 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 many years. In fact, I was telling him, remember, like 16 or 17 years ago, I drove down to D.C. from Detroit.
Right, I remember that story.
I drove down and him and he was in a rap group called the Helix Boys. And I told them, I said, I have beats, but I'd come in my car and listen to them. So the three of them would get in my car and I would play beats for them. So you were talking about the good old days. It was amazing.
Keith Showrock has come a long way. And so from his, if you don't know who he is actually an R&B singer and a rapper. So that's like a double or triple threat because of the deafness too. And so he can bring it. He can bring it. He's big on this stage. And he's like, he looks like he's larger than life when he's on that stage. Like, whoa. Yeah. When you meet him, so it's great. You had a lot of talent that came on that stage and performed, just gave everything they got. They were just enjoying themselves. And it was beautiful to see how people was actually starstruck seeing this, sometimes for the first time. Sometimes people who've seen them many times still like, wow, I can't believe you're still here doing that. And we doing this, thank you for Lee. Because honestly, he opened a lot of doors for many of us to get our start, just to build our reputation. So he was the one who was say, hey, come on. Do you want to try? Go ahead. Here's the floor. And that's all it took.
That's what I witnessed all weekend was two things. One, a lot of people approaching me and being shocked that I was there because Lee himself was like, for 15 years, I've been trying to bring you to the ASL poetry. we did a lot of events through the years, but that particular event, it never happened. And I told him that I had to clear my schedule to make sure that I was there in DC for the last hurrah. But between us, it's not the last hurrah.
No, it's not.
I know he's gonna do something else, and really, you have two people who took over and will move forward. And that's Marcus
and Wade.
Yeah. Green, right? Wade Green.
Yeah, Wade Green. So, but them two. So we have it in two areas. We have one that's based in DC, for the ASL Bus Boys Poets. We have one in DC, and the other one's in Columbia, Maryland. So you can go in two places, and it's really nice. So you have one, I think, the second Friday of the month, and then the last one's on the last Friday of the month. So second Friday will be Columbia, if I'm correct, and the last Friday of the month will be in DC. So it's packed almost every time. So Lee was the one who started with just one venue. That's it. Then it just grew and grew. The more people wanted more and more, and he kept it going.
He said himself, he said this was the biggest one ever.
Ah.
With all of us in the house, all of us spreading love. And the second thing I want to bring up is, for me, as someone who's always, kept an eye out for talent, I mean, that is the place where you want to see where the latest talents are, where you want to show your talents.
Yeah.
And on Friday night, I met this one guy, and he was like, I sign songs, I rap, I write, do you have any advice? So, for me, it's like, okay, you have like other people who really want to get into the game.
Network.
But they don't know where to start. And so it's nice to give advice. And my biggest advice to that particular person was to be yourself. I can give you some ideas and some potential resources, but ultimately you have to be your own artist.
Yes.
And that's something that I've learned. I've been fortunate to grow up and to learn the different things that I want to, but also knowing what I don't want to incorporate as well.
I mean, that place was a great meeting place for networking, inspiration, because, it's just, something just clicks in your heart and your mind. Oh, they're doing it. Maybe I can. So what did they do? Yeah, so that leads to where you was already explaining. So it's nice. So again, even though Lee set this up, it's already creating more opportunities out there for other people.
Right. I mean, the second thing I want to mention was DJ Hiro
Yeah.
Evo. And DJ Deftunes. I loved watching the two of them over the weekend.
Smooth.
This business can be competitive, and we're competitive. We always want to up one another. It's healthy. Yeah. I agree 100%. But I really loved seeing the relationship between the two of them, where Jay is just cool and Anton's just like they're just like playing with each other, and just so I really enjoyed that, because I think that's crucial in our community.
It's very crucial.
That like-minded people, like-minded artists have the opportunity to be together. So thank you, Lee, for creating these kind of opportunities for our artistic community. Without something like that, especially as it relates to music, it made me realize all weekend that music is the commonality between all of us. And that was what was special, because for me to watch on Saturday, so he had another event on Saturday.
Yeah, the festival for the family.
Sycamore Oaks. It was more family friendly.
Family, yes.
Although some of the music, I think was questionably family friendly. I was like, woo! They were playing Tupac, Hit 'Em Up. I'm like, this is a great diss song. It was awesome. Seeing people that you've seen on social media get up on the stage and perform, it's a totally different ballgame. anybody who signs songs will tell you that doing a social media video, you can do it again and again and again until you get it perfect. But on stage, you got one shot, one opportunity. Yep. So some of the performers, I was watching them and I could see the raw talent. I could see the abilities in several of them. And then they get off stage and they're like, I messed up. And I ran up to them. I said, stop.
Right.
They're like, but I screwed up. I said, nobody knows.
No one knows. Right.
Nobody knows.
So that's a learning tool.
I said, let me tell you a secret. I screw up all the time. All the time. I'm not perfect.
Same here.
Sometimes on stage, I want to challenge myself. I want to challenge the translations. I want to challenge my moves, my abilities, how I convey my song. So I get in the moment. You've already practiced the song at home many times. I would hope you would. Sometimes I do.
I have to.
Improvise on the spot and do things, but you practice at home, then you get there. A live performance, I was telling one person that a live performance is the equivalent of 1,000 practices.
True.
So 1,000 practices equals, one live performance equals 1,000 practices. It was amazing.
I mean, they came, but see, you see what I mean by opening door for a time to try? It's the clicks, you try, mess up. That's nice of us to come out with other people who skilled in performance, have the experience of performing on stage to, hey, it's okay. You got this. Just have fun. The kind of thing. And that's nice. You don't really get that often when it comes to a real show. Woo, just like a paid performance show, you got one shot to make everything work perfectly that you have in mind, So it's nice people get an opportunity to show their work, And then you have dancers who popped up. Harmony.
Oh my gosh.
She killed it.
I've seen several people attempt and have successfully signed and danced at the same time. But she does it on a whole other level. Yeah. That makes me really excited about the future of music access, because I feel like I could see the music. I don't recall the song she was doing, but I could tell that they were sampling some Michael Jackson in there, and she would do some moves and different things, and sign simultaneous while dancing.
Yeah, it's difficult, pretty challenging,
and smooth. I mean, she was so smooth that you feel like she was just born to do that. She was really born to do that.
She make it look natural. And so that's cool to see. And then you have some groups that just pop up, like was Deaf Music Ensemble. And from New York, they was sounding a lot of old school music. And, everybody was into this.
Times come up.
I mean, they was doing a lot of great songs. So they brought a lot of, so many people. And and that group.
Talk about that range. Mm-hmm. You got the artists who are performing their song and getting opportunities to get on stage, because for both of us, we've been able to travel the world. We've been able to perform on thousands of stages all over the world. To just be a fly on the wall in that room and to witness all of these up-and-coming talents and established talent and people who just love music and expressing that, you can't beat that.
No, you can't.
So for me on Saturday, I didn't perform at all. I was planning to, but I just kept seeing all of these talents who wanted and were dying to get on stage. And for me, I felt it was more important to just be standing there watching them while scaring them, standing there. What's that translation? What are they doing? And make them sweat while I'm watching them.
I performed 2 or 3 times on this stage.
Yeah,
it was fun. It's great. And I did encounter some people said, I've seen you on TV. I've seen you on social media. And I never once saw you live performing. And some of these people who are known for many years, what? Yeah, I've talked to you front face to face, no problem, for many years and all that, but I've never seen you perform. So seeing you perform was, whoa, you know your stuff. Well, thank you. So it was weird to witness that. It's I said, you know me for like 15, 20 years, did you never?
Right.
Okay. First time for everything, which is good. And so, but you counter some people who really didn't even know that people can do these things on stage. So some of the people who was working in on the booth or in the food area, they've never counted this. And so they will actually stop what they're working, just come out and say, what? What? Is he signing? And speaking of signing, did you know there's many styles of ASL translations in music? I mean, they were signing some things I had never thought of. I mean, right. Brought it out in a like a 3D. It was awesome. I mean, I just wanted to sit there and have a pull-out chair with popcorn, just watch. It was amazing. So many people knew the song that was happening out there, but they already had it set what kind of how they translate the song. But then you watch someone else who's signing the song, different from what you have in mind. It's mind educating. And it's like, oh, so that's another way of looking at it. Okay. Or sometimes you're like, okay, I could have done that differently. Or sometimes, wow, that's really, you're explaining clear. So it's like a learning thing. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and Friday nights, I only performed one time last weekend on Friday night, and I pulled out a new song, a song that I never performed before. And, a big part of that was because when Lee gave me opportunities in the early days, I mean, when I performed I'm Deaf in 2007, it was at these events long before I released the song to the public in 2010.
Wow.
So, I got the opportunity to get on the stage and see if the crowd reacts. Do they like the song? Do they not like the song? And also improve my performance abilities, because back then I was new to the game. I was new to performing in sign language on stage. So I was, it was a learning process through that. So last Friday I performed a song called I Kind of Beat the System.
Yeah.
And that song in particular, I knew would cause some sort of resonance with the audience. And in fact, right before I came out, Lee came out to introduce me. And watching him from the side of the stage, I almost started tearing up, because it was so beautiful and so unexpected of him to get out and say, I knew this kid back in 2006. I saw him post videos on YouTube, and I said, I got to get this guy here. And he got me, and he took a chance on me, and he said, now look at him, he blew up. I mean, to me, I never think like that. I just think that I'm a guy that really loves what I do. And I always want to show that, I don't want to be like, look at me, like I'm hot shit, Yeah. So to see that really, impacted me right before I was about to go out. So then, I came out and I introduced the song, and I was wearing my sunglasses, but behind my eyes were not dry, man. They were, I was like, I was just emotional, and I feel like it gave me the ability to express that personal song in a way that that I wouldn't have if Lee didn't say that, when you sign songs, you are impacted by the situation that you're in, the emotion of everybody in the room, knowing that it was his last ESL poetry event that he was hosting in D.C. What was even more interesting after was several people came up to me and they said, wow, that song really resonated with me in that way. Or the song really resonated with me in that way. Even though it's a song about my obstacles and how I beat them, I found a way to translate that to everybody in the room. And the other cool thing was people kept coming up to me like, what kind of music is that? And I'm like, what do you mean? That music is so unique. It's so different, which made me feel, because that song in particular, I was home alone one weekend. My family was out of town, and I spent a lot of time on the piano. It's not something I normally do. And I wrote the whole song. I made the chord progression on the piano, wrote the whole song. I brought it to the studio, and Jake Bass and I built the song up. But it's just so unique. And somebody came up to me, what kind of music is that? And I was like, it's my music. It's just
yours.
Everything that's that I've learned through my journey, and I've taken in everything from Motown to punk. Somebody said, is it kind of like punk music? I'm like, that's interesting. I never thought of that. And then I said blues, and she was like, ooh, blues. Then Lee comes up to me, and Lee was like, bro, you know what that song is? That song is hip hop and soul blended. And I was like, that's interesting.
So they gotta find a place where to place it in a genre.
Yeah, as an artist, I don't always try to be innovative and to try to do something different every time. And sometimes it resonates and sometimes it doesn't. And the best way to find that is by performing in front of an audience to see what their reaction is. And I loved watching you. Your song, an Intercontinental, I'd be
Let It Go and Fly.
Let It Go and Fly.
It was perfect for the song, because for the audience, it's like, again, you're inspiring people. And, you know, we all go through ups and downs and stuff. But for this part, when you are already building yourself and you're starting to get established, and you will encounter with people who will try so hard to pull you down, or you will have encounter people who really try to push you up. So all the thing is, you still have to do you to make yourself succeed, to make your game stand out, make yourself unique. And so with all the distraction, with all the negativity, put it aside, let it go, and just go.
I mean, your performance, as someone who's seen you perform so many times, you are so comfortable and so into it. You know, it's like, as your friend, like, I could see, like, the first time you perform it, I could tell, as your friend, I could tell, like, this is his first time performing it, and it's great. But I can also tell by the 10th time you performed it, or the 50th, or the 100th time you performed it, you become so comfortable with it, and it really resonates with the audience. So it was beautiful.
Thank you, bro.
Really,
I mean, when you love what you do,
yeah,
it's not something you want to just, I'll go out there and perform just for the heck of it. I mean, I love seeing people's faces change. I love seeing people get excited. I love seeing people getting shocked. Or sometimes, and I do love some people go, you think you are that? I'm like, okay. But the point is, you get your message across. Your performance, you have a job to do, and you do it well. So when you love what you do, you just fly on it. And the best part about this, it's your work. And not only because it's your work when you're performing it, think about behind the scenes of all that. For example, who wrote the song? Where the beat came from? All the collaboration people who believe in me as an artist. So OB and I, we the one who wrote that song, while DJ Nicar's one who produced that beat. So we came up with the theme, the idea, just put it down there, and we just went on with that. So that was teamwork. So I wasn't just performing I wasn't just performing for myself or for the audience. I was also performing for OB in the car. So I'm not by myself. I have a team that backed me in spirit. So it was great. Just push it out there, representing all of us.
So I think in theme with the whole weekend, with all of the signed music performances tomorrow, I'm curious about your translation process because when I watched you perform Let It Go and Fly, I thought it was fascinating. I wanted to inquire about, like, when you're writing the song, do you think about the ASR or do you do that after you write the song? Like, what is your process with that?
That's a great question. And that should be like the main question to ask and for any artist who involved with signing in music. It varies. Sometimes I will have the ASR right in my mind. And I'm like, okay, but then I have to translate it into English when I put it down. Oftentimes, I do a lot of writing just to make sure I'm making sense when I'm rapping, thinking it. So that's the oral part. So because I already have the vision, I'm writing in English, which is not ASL. So I'm writing that. And once I do that, once I have all that done, and I just go on and when it feels natural, okay, fine. Then I go back again after I'm complete the song and start working on translation. So pick out certain words, everything, translating how I visualize that to make it 3D for everyone to be able to see. That takes a lot more longer time than writing. I mean, because you have to make sure people who are hearing or hard of hearing auditory can get it. But you want to translate this right for the deaf community to make sure they fully understand the meaning of the song. So it doesn't mean that you have to sign exactly word for word that's on that paper and lyric. You need to make sure the translation is different because this ASL and English are not the same at all. They're very different, two different languages. So for we as artists doing this, we are splitting ourselves, English and ASL on the stage live. That is not easy. So some of us really make it look natural. So it's a lot of repetition, a lot of training. And sometimes when you pick up the translation and then you go back again, then you find another way, better sounding better. And it becomes easier and easier and easier. You know, I think that's my process. So, and then it becomes so natural. It's like, okay, now you start to put your moves in there and you start adding another thing or something that's fun that people can find catchy. And so they can always remember the song. Again, when you do something like this, first impression counts. So we want to make it strong impact to make them go, oh, I remember that song. I remember what he did. I remember when he signed. So for people who know sign, they will remember it. For people who don't know sign, they remember the gesture or some of the beats of the song. They connect. So you're hitting a lot of birds with one stone.
Right. For me, my biggest thing, I don't write in ASR. I write lyrics. That's how I've always done it. And what happens during my process is because I write it, I rap it, I sit with my songs for a long time. I'm not the type of artist that writes a quick song and puts it out. It happens sometimes, but most of the time I sit with my music. I think about it. I have time to sit in my car and drive and just play with my hands, play with the rhythm, and to just start. I start everything up here. I visualize myself signing it. Like I'm watching myself in my head. I'm watching myself sign it. And I'm trying to understand the hand movement, how my hand goes from one area to the next. How can I convey a message in the most rhythmic way possible? Because rhythm is a big part of it too, because sometimes I watch ASL translations and they basically use one sign for like 5 words. You have 5 words, you have one sign. I'm like, but how do you fill the gap? You know, for me, it's hard. That's the biggest challenge for me, is that I have to stay in rhythm. And if I sign one word, one sign for 5 words, I have to find a way to place the rhythm. So that's always like the big challenge. And that's why I enjoyed performing a new song last weekend, because it gave me the opportunity to get up there. I practiced performing the song before I went to DC, but I also didn't over practice too, because I like to see the rawness of it. I think the whole point of performing at a place like Busboys and Poets is the opportunity to try something new, to really give a raw performance. Because from last Friday, if I perform that song for the next 10 years, it's going to be totally different.
It will be.
Maybe even the translation will be different. Maybe the meaning of the song itself will be different as well. A lot of songs that I've been performing for over 15 years, it's like muscle memory. Like, for example, the song I'm Deaf. If I perform it right now, and I'll tell you, I was planning to perform it last Saturday. I have not heard the song in a minute. I haven't listened to it. And sometimes I intentionally don't do that because I want to perform from the heart. I don't want to overdo it, but at the same time, you got to be prepared. And I know I'm prepared, but I'll admit, like right before I was about to go on the stage, I was like, how does the third verse start? How does the second verse go?
There you go. That was my thing I was about to bring up. Because for me, I love to rehearse. And sometimes people will look at me and think, hey, why you always practicing? So I just want to get it right. So what? You're fine. I've never seen you make a mistake. I make a lot of mistakes on that stage. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. So it looks like I'm over-rehearsing. But then sometimes when I get on that stage, second, third verse, oh crap, how did I sign it before? How do I say that? Sometimes I get on that stage, I just zone out and I go, okay, forget it, just go. And I do. And still the show be fun. I think it's because of muscle memory. Just, okay, I got it. So it's almost like you have what's called, I would say, out-of-body experience. It's just like everything. And then all of a sudden, when this out-of-body experience is going to show your reality is not connecting, then all of a sudden, I remember that part. Let me get in. Okay, here I am. just that. So I do that a lot. And also, going back to when you writing the song and rapping it, I have a drill sergeant, which is Nick Carr tells me a lot. Okay, too many words. Get rid of them. I'm like, that changed the whole thing of what I want to write or sign. I'm like, okay. And so, but it's good. Because it helps you. He says sometimes you're off the beat. Okay, you're not on the beat. Okay, you're on beat, but you have too many words. Sounds like you're mumbling. I'm like, mumbling? It's fine. So change it. Or does not make sense. Or sometimes you say, okay, you went off the point. Come back to the point. And I'm like, good. And when I'm writing, I'm thinking I'm on the point. And I'm like, So once in a while, he will correct me on that. So I end up just trash the whole song, start new, or take some parts out, create a new verse with that. So you can play. That's your playland. That's your sandbox. You can figure out what kind of castle you want to build, what kind of car you want to formulate, what kind of boat you want to make with that.
It makes me think about the challenges of being a signing artist and a recording artist. Because I'm sure what I'm about to say, you can connect with. Sometimes I just want to rap.
Yeah.
I just want to show that I can rap. I want to show that that I have this skill. And sometimes by doing that, I don't do justice to the signing artist portion, which I found more often than not causes the song to not be a performance type of song. Maybe it's just on the album, but maybe I won't really perform it live. And that was more so in my early days, where there's some songs on my first album that I tried to perform live, and then I watch some videos that people post, and I watch it and I'm like, even I don't understand myself. So it impacts how I move forward, what kind of beats I pick, how I express myself. And because it usually starts with me now. Back in the day, Jake Bass would give me beats and I would write to him. But now I write and then I usually make the beat. And then we add more music on top of that. So by doing that process, it allows me to not only focus on my vocal abilities, but to find that rhythm that fits with the signing style too. I think that's why songs like Let It Go and Fly really work for signing style. It was songs like Little Victories, because you got to think about how fast you're signing and how fast you're delivering. It's not just fast, but how you're expressing yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's like, for example, in Little Victories, like, did things only some dream. So you got did things only some dream. It's like it has that rhythm that gives you the flexibility to be able to express and sign and vocalize, and the music matches with it. Whereas if you're like signing like Rap God by Eminem, I mean, I've seen several people sign the song, but for me as a lyricist, as someone who's really obsessed with what exactly the words are, that impacts the translation for me, because sometimes I want to know the cadence of how he's rapping. I want to understand every single word and how the rhyme structure of what he's rapping. So I always find all of those things really fascinating, and really enjoy everybody who brings their flavor to the table.
I love that. When I'm recording, I like to play with the lights. Sometimes it's the mood, take it down, take the mood, the lights, sometimes. And once in a while, I will have the lights off. And so you just see the laptop lights, and it just starts, just rap. And yeah, you're right. Sometimes I just want to rap and see what's like, bring the song. Really, the goal is to bring the song to life. Give it life. So people just vibe with the music, make sure you understand your pronunciation, your speech. And that's hard sometimes for us, for other people, make sure we say the right thing, pronounce the B's, the P's, the S, all that kind of thing. And so even though I rap, I'm done. I still struggle sometimes. It just slips. Fine. So I go back and do it again. That's why I repeatedly listen to it over and over again, make sure I do it. And I would, keep going, repeating the whole thing. But there is sometimes I just feel I just want to rap and see what it's like, because I will watch the rappers and they just moving there. Yeah, all that. I'm like, I want to do that too. I only do that in the studio because it helps me bring the song to life. Then when I come to working on sign language, that translation, that's what the process that we've already explained about, I want to make sure that ASL process is really to life.
Have you ever put headphones on and walk the dog and you're
I do it often.
While you're walking?
I do it often.
I always think that, when I'm doing something like that, I'm going for a walk and I'm signing and listening to music that other people who don't know who I am or anything, probably looking out the windows like, who's that crazy guy that's...
Often. So I'm doing my walks. I'm near the highway. I'm like, people just driving by. Sometimes I get people beep. I'm like, okay, but yeah, I get people look at me and I'm just like, I'm just knowing the world. I'm in my zone, just making sure I focus on the song that I'm enjoying. I'm signing, whether it's praise music, whether it's my music, whether it's some music that I'm practicing on. I just do that. I do the same thing when I'm acting. When I'm out there, I have the script on my phone and I'm while I'm walking. Some people were thinking, who you talking to? You mad? Who you FaceTiming?
For me, the first person I perform any of my songs for is my wife. My wife is an ESL professor, and she knows my abilities, my, And she loves to challenge me. She loves to challenge concepts with me and tell me, like, why are you signing that like that? You should sign it like this. So I think anybody who signs music should have somebody else that kind of gives them a little bit of feedback. Especially with the sign language portion, more so with my new songs that I'm working on, I can visualize myself doing them. I would really like to bring in somebody who can help me think outside the box, because through my career, I've had several different people who have helped me with my translations. I mean, one notable person I would love to mention is Jules Dameron. I mean, there's some songs that I've translated that he wrote the whole translation for me.
Wow.
And it gave me the ability to think outside the box. Like, for example, the song Watch These Hands. When I first performed that song, I was like, watch these hands. And I was performing that. And then later he was like, why don't you change up the concept? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, maybe you should like do what? Everybody look at me. Like, watch these hands. So you get instead of being repetitive, and I think there are certain songs that call for repetition, like little victories. Yeah. But I'll admit there's sometimes where I get sarcastic on stage, and I'm like little victories. It's always good to have fun, especially with songs that have repetition. I think it really shows your ability to think outside the box, and working with translators is always fun when you find somebody who gets the concept of what you're going for, but also, someone you can butt heads with and say, no, like, I want to follow this rhythm. I want to express, because one thing with translation is, and what really resonated with me last Friday is, even though I signed that song in my style and my way, people were able to leave things open to interpretation.
Well, that's the point.
Instead of me interpreting a concept for them, giving them a very specific vision, I often find myself wanting to leave it open to interpretation. So that means sometimes signing, maybe not exact English, but a little bit closer to the exact English rather than a translation.
But then sometimes you also want to leave it a specific kind of sign to emphasize the meaning of the song. I mean, for example, or a movement. Like when I did Let It Go and Fly, I have the line that says, I be duffel with them bags. I don't know when I'll be back. And the only way is up, like I'm growing exponential. So I was like, you know how people be running with their bags when they come to the next airport?
I saw it yesterday at the airport.
There's a lot of people.
The first thing I thought is like, there goes Wawa.
And trust me, I had plenty of times when I was running like a track star to the next place. So it's either your bag that's behind you, or it's in front of you, or it's in your backpack, and you run around. It's almost like carrying two kids trying to get around, navigate to the next plane. So that vision, you want to make sure you put it in, and you can make it funny. You can make it fun so people go, oh, they know what that line is exactly. They don't have to translate all that line. That one thing, it will equal to that one line. So something specific.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, so that. And you leave it up to rest for the rest of the translation, but they understand the concept. Oh, we're on a plane. Oh, it can be related to stress, or all this baggage, I leave it behind, How are you handling it? The translate, you leave it up to the audience to translate what that means, So, but yeah, things like that. And that's fun. You can play with that. Like I said, it's just sandbox. And how you want to portray that helps allow for people to understand and be able to relate more to your work.
When I think about translation, I think about a live band.
Oh, I love live.
When you perform with a live band, it never sounds the same. there's a lot of little things nuances that happen during a live performance that is completely different from a recorded performance. So like when you're signing for a social media video for TikTok or Instagram, you're trying to perfect it because people will watch it again and again and again. But when you're live, the musicians, the singers, the signers on stage, it's always going to be different. And that's the beautiful thing about it is it's raw. It's from the heart. You're expressing how you feel in that moment.
Humans on that stage.
I'll perform the same song 100 times and you will get 100 different performances. And that's what I love about performing live.
Having a live band really elevates your, your motivations. Like, okay, I'm working with a team of human people here. Okay, he may feel so into this bass. How can I match him? The drumming, how I match this person so we all in sync and then bringing out the best. And then sometimes you realize there's some sound you thought was not in the recording, but it's in the live, or sometimes they put it in there, makes it even better. Oh, snap, let's go, And then you understand more of the rhythm more. So I think you feel it more. So you feel like, okay, I know some people knows how to separate the sounds. Suppose if I say, can you stop the bass a little bit, let the drum pump? You still get the feeling of the music itself. I'm like, oh, I love that. I like when you did before with the Deaf and Loud Symphonic experience. Beautiful. We need that again. Can you explain about that, please? I mean, I think the world needs something like that.
So back in 2018, I hosted an event called the Deaf and Loud Symphonic Experience. While I was there, he signed a lot of the Motown song. We had a lot of cats from Motown who were part of the core band. And we had a 90-piece orchestra behind us. That experience was nerve-wracking for sure because first of all, it had never been done before. And really...
Mind you, I've never seen Sean Forbes so stressed out like that before, okay? So this was like a whole new order. I felt like I had to be a psychologist to make sure he was okay.
Yeah, you did. You did. Thank you for that. But the accessibility portion of the whole event, not just the performances, but the whole event was a big thing for me. I really wanted to show what access really looks like through an event. So the accessibility portion from the interpreters and the audience sitting there voicing for the deaf actors with no script. It was really important to me that the whole event be from the heart. I'm always about expressing from the heart. And it's not just that, but it is hard. And
you did it.
Just for, like you said, to know that you're getting on stage with the 12-piece band, with the 90-piece orchestra. So you have over 100 people on stage. How do we all sync together? And another part was having the lyrics on the screen behind us.
Sync it.
So getting all that together was a big challenge. Thankfully, Jake Bath wrote all of the pieces for it with Paul Reiser, who wrote and composed a lot of those famous songs for Motown. Mandy had her person, Alfred Shepard, write her parts. Evelyn had her parts too written. So it's just a huge undertaking and making it cohesive so that people like us could go in there comfortably and sign these songs. So watching you do your part, watching Kristen Pumphrey do his part, watching, so many performers doing their thing, doing our songs. I did a song for one of my dad's songs that he wrote. So powerful.
It was amazing. I've never I have never experienced anything like that before. So for me, it was like an orchestra.
Yeah, shout out to the Detroit Symphony Orchestra
Thank
for
you for
being
that. Yeah.
willing to take a chance on this. I mean, I thought the concept was so left field that they would be like, what is this? And in fact, I think less than a year after the Deaf and Loud Symphonic Experience, Nas came and did his record with the symphony.
Wow.
After that. So more and more people started popping up after the Deaf and Loud Symphonic Experience. Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I saw it.
And then recently in town, they had an orchestra doing Dr. Dre's 2001 album. So it's like it's a thing now.
And now the new thing that's happening is called hip hop opera, and it's blowing up now. So if you ever get a chance to see that, I strongly suggest you go. But you have to understand, for deaf people, go to orchestra, opera.
There was a lot of hesitation for that. I remember when we announced it, people were like, what is this? And I had to explain and emphasize that this is going to be accessible. We are thankfully to many of the sponsors who were involved, who made the event free and open for the deaf and hard of hearing community, because I knew that they would be skeptical. So we made videos and we said, dressed up nice, show up, go to the orchestra.
Like,
deaf people are like, I've never been to the orchestra before. Like, why would I go to the orchestra? And to this day, people still come up to me and say, when are you going to do it again?
I don't blame them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know it's stressful. It's crazy. But one day, if we're able to do it again, and I'm really hoping we do it. We will. But you have a bigger team, so you get to sit back and let them take over. But I know you. What are you doing? No, turn it down. I'm like, yes, boss.
I was definitely doing that during that show. I mean, my favorite part of the whole show was playing drums while you were signing. You get Stevie Wonder fingertip, and I got behind the drum kit, so I want to do more of that too. I want to play drums because, wow, I never envisioned myself being in front of a crowd on the stage, standing right there signing songs or rapping or singing. I always envisioned myself playing the drums, and that's my number one true love, was playing drums.
But that was the experience of the lifetime for me. For that was like, so yeah. So you guys are interested in that?
Work with Evelyn Glennie,
from
who's
UK.
a monster. She's a monster, and the marimba and the glockenspiel and all of these weird instrument names that I can't even remember. But she was just.
If you don't know who,
all week while we were practicing, I was just in awe.
Yeah,
I kept watching her. I was like, I didn't care about my performance. I just wanted to watch her.
She's so deep into it. She was really in the zone, really emotional, attached to it. So you guys who don't know who Evelyn Glennie, she's from the UK. She is actually one of the longest running person hard of hearing or deaf, if you can call it that, artists in the world. She's been with a lot of artists. She's been doing this since from the 70s, I believe. So, and she is also knighted as Dame Evelyn from the Queen.
Dame.
Yeah, from
Evelyn
the Queen
Glennie
herself. So, and I believe she's the only deaf person who is knighted. I don't know. I have no idea. But that's huge. And she knows her stuff. So you talk about music, she knows so much about music, even words and terminologies or instruments that you never dreamed of. And you're like, what? And she explains it. I'm like, she's a university herself.
Yeah. I mean, that experience in itself was so incredible. Yeah, I really want to do it again.
Yeah, I had to bring it up.
time I know more, and you're right. During the performance, I was doing so many different things at the same time. It's like I'd be on the stage, then I'd get off the stage, and like, how's the live stream going? How's this going? Did these people get in? But I just wanted to make sure, because I learned from people like Lee. I learned from people like Super Lee that an event needs to keep going. I grew up in an environment where I love my dad. My dad would always say, if we were at an event and a band would finish and then another band would come on, he'd be like, gotta be quick, come on, we gotta keep going. There's never dead air. You can't have dead air. You gotta keep it going and keep the crowd entertained. So that was really an incredible experience. Well, Wawa, we're passing 1 hour right now, so
us motor mouths. Us motor mouths. We got a lot to say.
Maybe that's the name of the podcast.
Motor mouths.
So, what's the translation for that? That doesn't look right. It looks like something from Ace Ventura. When he.
It could be.
No.
I don't know. I'm just making up.
All of you, thank you for tuning in every week. I mean, last week, that was another awesome thing. Several people came up to me and told me about how much they love the podcast, how much they love what we're doing. We're going to keep doing this. We're really inspired right now. If you guys have any topics you would love to see us really chat about, please let us know. I mean, we're here. Just leave comments down below. And we look forward to next week.
Share it, because we need it. I mean, I think this would be great. Come in our room, come in our world, and we'll show you what we have. Yeah, this is good. So thanks so much for watching.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Show some love.
Peace.
dpan.tv, the sign language channel.